Hello, dear friends. Welcome. My name is Lauren Bentley, here with a conscious community. And today we're going to speak about how to move from living with a closed heart to the very courageous journey of living with an open heart. I am a 300-hour trauma-informed yoga teacher, 200-hour mindfulness teacher, and a certified cognitive behavioral therapist. And I love bringing the art of this talk therapy with movement therapy together to provide a less anxiety provoking and a more embodied and compassionate approach to healing. So thank you so very much for being here for this discussion and integration. If you are watching me on YouTube, you will notice me looking down quite a bit. I do have notes written out here to try to keep me on track a little bit instead of just trying to come in here and fire it from intuition, which definitely has its gifts and its glory, but trying to have a little bit more of a structure. So that's what I'm looking at when I'm looking down. There's nothing fancy or anything I'm hiding going on, just so we're clear. So I want to begin by speaking about or sharing actually a quote by the poet Mark Nepo, who tells us to be more like fish. He says, as fish must keep their gills open in order to survive moving through the water, humans must keep their hearts open in order to move through the difficult and wondrous river of experience. Letting life move through an open heart is how we make medicine out of our suffering. And I'm going to read that last part again, and I want you to just really feel how it hits your body, how it reaches your body. Letting life move through an open heart is how we make medicine out of our suffering. So, what does it really mean to live with an open heart? We talk about this quite often in yoga and in meditation. We even create whole classes around opening the heart, living with an open heart space. Or you may even follow along with guided meditations all about opening up through that heart. But how do we then carry that with us into our day? How do we make that our embodied experience of living? And of course, it's going to be different for each and every one of us. We all experience an opened heart in our own way, in our very own capacity, just like we experience our closed hearts in our very own way. And so I'm going to be guiding you through a bit of an embodied experience for you to understand how it is you've been living with that closed heart, and then how it feels to find that courageous journey to then open up that heart. So I feel that the majority of us do go through life with a closed heart. We may feel it is safer here. We may feel that that's how we create our boundaries, how we ensure that we can't ever get hurt. But when our hearts are closed, we cannot express our fullest selves, and therefore we actually limit our life experience. So we're limiting the experience that we have with love. We're limiting the experience that we have with joy, with pleasure, within our career, within our friendships, our relationships, our movement. We're limiting our life's experience when we have the closed heart. So, all the more reason for us to learn how to really open the heart space. We often do end up closing those hearts because of traumas and heartbreaks. We often question, what if I get hurt? So, again, we feel that this is how we create boundaries and how we keep ourselves safe. But let me ask you this, because it's more than likely that you've been living the majority, if not all of your life with like this closed heart. And that's no judgment by any means. I definitely did. And reminding myself to open, open, open is something that I have to do quite often. Okay. It's this human experience. It's often what I feel society has created for us to help to make us believe that it is safer to have this closed heart. But let me ask you this, considering that that I'm assuming that you've lived for the majority or, all of your life with a more closed heart. Have you gone through this whole life without any sort of pain? No, probably not. I am sure that you've experienced heartbreak or heartache in some form or another. I'm sure you've experienced some sort of loss, grievance. I know for me, living with a closed off heart did not prevent my father from dying. It did not prevent my dog from suddenly passing. These things very much still happened. I still have been hurt. I still have had some crappy boyfriends, experienced abuse in relationships, right? So living with closed hearts has not prevented us from pain. We still feel the pain, yet we're still not experiencing the pleasure and the joy and the excitement as fully as we could be. So in saying that, we may as well crack that baby wide open, because no matter what, we're not avoiding the pain. So I want to begin with a little bit of an activity, an embodiment activity, so you can begin to feel how it is to live with that closed heart and then begin to experience the difference with that heart open. So this will consist of some visualization. So if you are driving, please just come back to this later. If you are doing chores, can you take a moment to pause on those chores? And if we could all just find ourselves in a comfortable seat, or if you prefer to stand or lie down, you can do that as well. So as you arrive, let's find a long spine while also still allowing our bodies to be as relaxed as possible. And if it feels okay, we can close the eyes or just simply soften the gaze down towards the bridge of the nose, or perhaps towards something on the floor that isn't too far off in front of you that you can just bring your focus to. And with our eyes softened, we can begin now to just bring our awareness to the sensations within the body and the sensations around the body. Just allowing ourselves to anchor more so into this present moment, reminding yourself that you are here, you are safe, you are supported, you are in this present moment. We're just diving into a bit of exploration for healing. And then I want you to imagine now, maybe you can see this in your mind's eye, like on your forehead. You can imagine a movie screen playing behind your eyes. I want you to see yourself in your day today. And we're going to focus first on this first phrase. They aren't worthy of my love. Can you bring to mind a time when you withheld love from somebody for one reason or another. Maybe your partner hurt your feelings. Maybe a friend betrayed you. A family member upset you. And you felt yourself close off to them, feeling that they were not worthy of your love. And since we're just focusing truly on our own hearts for this practice, I just want you to notice how that feels within you. Notice how that's making you suffer even more. I understand that this situation caused you pain, and it's what made you close your heart. But notice how much more pain that actually brought into your life as you withheld love. Noticing that as we withhold love from another, we're actually withholding love from ourselves. Notice the sensations within the body, even the thoughts within your mind. And on to this next phrase that often goes hand in hand with the first. They need to prove themselves first. And this oftentimes happens after deep heartache or loss. We're afraid to love again. We're afraid to open our hearts again. And we feel as if another individual needs to prove themselves worthy of love first before you can open your heart to them. But again, just become aware of the suffering that places within you. How, again, withholding love from others is, in fact, withholding love from yourself. Noticing how that feels in your body, where that is within the body. The next phrase is, there's so much hatred in the world. Notice how that makes you close, where you feel it, the sensations within. And lastly, there's so much to be angry about. And again, noticing how that feels, the sensations, the awareness that the heart is closed. Perhaps you even notice that your shoulders rounded forward as if you were blocking the heart. Maybe your breath got shallow. Maybe you wanted to completely leave the body. Or even maybe you became aware of like that darkness, the closing off. Perhaps you couldn't even feel your body anymore. And then become aware now of the judgments that follow. right? The lack of compassion, the lack of the desire to understand, to see people for who they are. We're making ourselves suffer. We're limiting our life experience. And so continuing to stay exactly as you are. If you did notice that you were rounding forward, see if you can bring the shoulders back, letting the heart shine forward. See if you can deepen the breath, if it feels okay to focus on the breath. If that doesn't feel okay, bringing the awareness to the sensations within the body. As we begin now to invite the heart to open, begin for you to explore how it would feel for you to live with that open heart. So again, taking your awareness back to that very first scenario of they aren't worthy of my love. Imagining somebody who hurt you, that you did feel like you needed to withhold your love from them. And it's okay if they're no longer in your life. What would it feel like to leave your heart open? That even though they hurt you, you refuse to limit your experience because of them. You refuse to make yourself suffer because of something that they did, because of their own character. How would it feel to set your boundaries, but leaving the heart open? How would it feel to experience compassion, knowing that hurt people hurt people? Never saying that it's okay for somebody to hurt you, but allowing yourself to look deeper into the why behind it. Keeping your heart open, putting boundaries in place. How would it feel if you just chose to open your heart wide open to friends, to family, to your partner, without needing them to prove that they are worthy of it? What if they already were worthy? Because you are worthy. What if by you opening your heart, it's the invitation for them to open their heart? With that wide open heart space, you can see how you can love yourself deeper, which is the invitation for them to love you deeper as well. But if there is nothing that anybody needed to prove, but your heart was wide open for you, for your life experience? How would it feel like to view the hatred in the world, but want to meet it with love? Same with meeting the anger and the rage with the open heart. How would it feel to be a part of that ripple effect? The more you live with your wide open heart, the more you encourage others to do the same. And then they encourage others to do the same. And then they as well. And it keeps going and going and going. How does it feel to be a part of the solution? Of healing this world, of healing each other, of coming together in community. Versus adding to it, adding to the pain, to the suffering, to the hatred. How does it feel to live with that heart wide open? And when you feel ready, you can begin to deepen your breath and just become aware of the walls around you. Very gently batting your eyes open, coming back into the space. Maybe taking a few moments to look around, just really allowing yourself to completely ground into your surroundings. Just noticing how it felt, the huge difference between living with the closed heart and living with the open heart. Noticing the difference between the smallness and then the expansiveness, the suffering to the experiencing, the closed to the open. And as you go through your days and you carry this practice with you, you can begin to even meet yourself with more compassion. When you notice your heart close, you feel judgments, hatred, that desire to make them prove themselves to you, whatever it may be. Take a moment, step back, ask yourself, why? Why are you closing? Why are we feeling this way? What does this mean? What does this need from me? Because we often close because of fear. That fear, anger, sadness, all of that is an unmet need. What is it? What is that unmet need? And then meet it. What I mean by this is, say you feel this anger towards your partner because you feel that they're out with their friends way too much. They don't spend any time with you. And you want to close your heart. You want to withhold love from them because you just feel that they need to start proving their love to you before you can open your heart back up to them. But you're making yourself suffer because of that. So instead, choose to meet your unmet need. Asking, why do I want to close? Okay. Because I feel like my partner is spending way too much with their friends. It's upsetting me. They need to prove their love to me. The unmet need, loneliness, lack of love, isolation, abandonment. How can you meet that need? Whether asking your partner to support you, telling your partner how it is you're feeling, or just meeting it within yourself, meeting it with your therapist, whatever it may be. Just noticing how deep the healing can be in this space. The healing for yourself, the healing for this planet, the healing for humanity, the healing to create a deeper sense of community, compassion, love. Yes, it's courageous to live with a heart wide open. Yes, it's hard as heck. Yes, it takes time, patience, presence, mindfulness. But it's a beautiful journey, one that I definitely will never regret because there's so much that comes with it. The healing, the open heart, the full life experience, and living our fullest potential. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for your courage, for your bravery to be on this journey. If you would like to share your experience with me, if you're on YouTube, please drop it in the comments below or check out the description where you can see how you can find me on social, or you can see my email and you can write to me. Let me know. And same with if you're listening on the podcast. And below in the show notes, you can find all the ways that you can contact me. Let me know how you experience this, what came up for you. I'd also love to know how it felt to live from that closed heart and then versus that open heart. Because like I said, we all have our own experience with it, our own embodiment of it, if you will. So thank you. If you would like to go deeper with this, again, just check out the show notes below. You can find the ways that you can work with me. I have a membership. I have one-on-one. Beautiful experience of the mind with the body. Thank you so very much. If you enjoyed this, I would love if you could leave me a review in the podcast or subscribe to my YouTube channel. These are both really incredible and free ways to support free content. So thank you so very much. Many blessings, deep love to you. And I hope that you can carry this open heart with you off of your seat and into your life. I'll see you soon.